Hello there, my enthusiastic grade 6 learners. Good day! By the way, I'm Sir ALJEN Cainoy, grade 6 teacher from San Vicente Elementary School, Medina, South District. Come and join me as we discover and learn together in the world of English.
English. English. My favorite subject is English.
But before we proceed to our lesson, make sure that your self-learning module, paper, and pen are all set. If you are ready, well, tap on your shoulder and say, I'm ready. Great! Today, we are going to discuss the English 6th Quarter 1, Module 3. We will be discussing the topic, identifying tenses of the verb. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to, number 1, define verb. Number 2, identify the simple tenses of the verb, present, past, and future. And we have number 3, value the importance of the tenses of the verb. Kids, do you like to sing a song? Wow! Good to hear that. Now, let's sing the tenses song. Ready, kids?
Yes!
Okay, let's sing!
The past is then, the present is now, the future is later. The past is then, the present is now, the future is later. I walked my dog, I am walking my dog. I will walk my dog to the shops. I jumped so high, I am jumping so high. I will jump so high on the trampoline. The past is then, the present is now, the future is later. The past is then, the present is now, the future is later. I ate my lunch, I am eating my lunch. I will eat my lunch in the dinner hall. I wore my coat, I am wearing my coat. I will wear my coat because it's freezing. The past is then, the present is now, the future is later. The past is then, the present is now, the future is later. I played the drums, I am playing the drums. I will play the drums because I love being noisy. I read my book, I am reading my book. I will read my book in the library. The past is then, the present is now, the future is later. The past is then, the present is now, the future is later. We always write in a tense, we're not living in tense. We always write in a tense. No, we're not living in tense. A tense tells us when the sentence happened. The past, present, future. The past is then, the present is now, the future is later. The past is then, the present is now, the future is later.
Kids, did you enjoy the song? Great! So am I! Kids, this is my friend, Jace. He is a dancer. He danced hip-hop yesterday. He dances ballet today. He will dance contemporary tomorrow. Well, these sentences expresses an action that happened, happens, and will happen. English has a way to present actions just like that, using simple tenses of the verbs. And today, we are going to know more about them. Are you all ready to learn?
Yes!
Great! But before we begin, let's answer first this test. Directions for each of the following sentences. Identify the verb. Choose the letter of the correct answer. For number 1, the dog shivered in the rain. Letter A, dog. B, shivered. Letter C, rain. The correct answer is letter B, shivered. Very good. Number 2, an owl hunts for food during the night. Letter A, hunts. B, food. Or letter C, night. The verb in this sentence is letter A, hunts. Very good. For number 3, the moon disappeared behind the clouds. A, moon. B, behind. Or letter C, disappeared. The correct verb in this sentence is letter C, disappeared. Excellent. Good job, grade 6 learners. Kids, did you enjoy answering our warm-up activity?
Yes!
Yay! 2 thumbs up and say, hooray! Kids, I'm going to present a notebook showing the table with 3 columns. Let's read them together. Simple tense of verb. Present, past, future. Craft, crafts. Crafted, will craft. Create, creates. Created, will create. Instruct, instructs. Instructed, will instruct. Let me first introduce to you what is verb. Verb is known as an action word and a state of being. There are 3 simple tenses of verbs, namely the past, the present, and the future. Tenses of verbs tells us how an action relates to the flow of time. Simple tenses usually refer to a single action. In general, simple tenses express facts and situations that existed in the past, exist in the present, or will exist in the future. For example, in the past, I cleaned my cabinet yesterday. For the present, I clean my bedroom every day. For the future, I will clean my shoe rack later. Here are some examples of the tenses of the verbs. Walk, walks. Walked. Will talk. Cook or cooks. Cooked. Shall cook. Pour or pours, poured, will pour. Bake or bakes, baked, will bake. Talk or talks, talked, shall talk. Kids, do you understand our topic?
Yes!
Awesome! Now that you know how to identify the tenses of the verb, let us move on to our activity number 1. Read the sentences and identify what tense of verb is used. I will give you 5 seconds to answer. Are you ready, kids?
Yes!
Okay, let's start. For number 1, the man walks with his dog every day. Is it past, present, or future? Very good. It is in the present tense. Number 2, my mother cooked chicken adobo yesterday. The answer is past. Very good. For number 3, he will pour honey on his salabat later. The answer is future. Very good. How about number 4? Her sister bakes chocolate cake every once in a while. Is it past, present, or future? Excellent. That is in the present tense of the verb. Last, number 5. They talk so loud when they discuss pandemic issues. The answer is present. Well done, kids! For activity number 2, draw a heart if the underlined verb is in the present tense, a moon if the underlined verb is in past tense, and a star if the underlined verb is in future tense. Draw your answer on a separate sheet of paper. Number 1, my friends will plan for their get-together next week. For number 2, the teacher talks well in her discussion every day. Number 3, last week, we cooked bok choy and we all enjoyed the hot soup. Number 4, they gracefully danced maglalatik on stage yesterday. Number 5, most mothers cook vegetables for their children every meal time. Okay, time is up! Now that you finished answering, let us see if your answers are correct. For number 1, the underlined word is very good. It is in the future tense. For number 2, the underlined verb is in the present tense. Excellent. For number 3, the underlined word is in the past tense. Good job. How about in number 4? The underlined verb is in the past tense. Good job. Last, number 5. The underlined verb is in the present tense. Fantastic. Well done, grade 6 learners. Class, for our next activity, identify the correct tense of the verb that will complete each sentence. For number 1, next month, I blank a workshop to enhance my skills in singing. Letter A, will attend. B, attended. Letter C, attend. The correct answer is letter A, will attend. For number 2, Tina blank chocolate cake every day. Letter A, baked. B, will bake. C, bakes. Letter C, very good. Number 3, I blank my bedroom every day. A, cleans. B, clean. C, will clean. The answer is letter B, clean. Number 4, the group blanked their output yesterday morning. Letter A, present. B, presented. C, will present. The answer is letter B, presented. Last, number 5. Last time I caught a cold. I blanked in bed for 2 days. Letter A, stay. B, stayed. C. Will stay. The answer is letter B. Stayed. Let us now check what you have learned for today. What will happen to the verb if it is used in the present tense? It will either be in the S form or base form. For example, the principal talks on administrative concerns during the meeting. During the meeting is an example of time expression for present tense. What will happen to the verb if it is used in the past tense? D or ed will be added to the base form. For example, she cooked pancit molo last weekend. Last weekend is an example of time expression for past tense. What clue can lead you to identify the tense of the verb used in the sentence? The time expressions in the sentences help in identifying the tense of the verb. For example, the female teachers will dance señorita in next month's affair. Next month is an example of time expression for future tense. Now kids, why is it important to know and study the tenses of the verb? Verb tense helps you express when an event takes place. Regular verbs follow regular patterns when shifting from present to past tense. Irregular verbs do not follow regular, predictable patterns when shifting from present to past tense. Using consistent verb tense is a key element to effective writing. For assessment number 1, identify the correct tense of the verb that will complete each sentence. Write your answer on a sheet of paper. Okay, time is up! Now that you finished answering, let us see if your answers are correct. Oops! We're not done yet! Let's answer assessment number 2. Identify what tense of the verb and underline the correct verb used in the sentence. I know you can do it, kids! Let's start! For our assessment number 2 directions, identify what tense of the verb and encircle the verb being used in the sentence. Okay, time is up! Now that you finished answering, let us see if your answers are correct. For your assignment, it's time for you to make your own sentences following the rules of the tenses of the verbs. You have to decide what form agrees with your subjects. Use time expressions to specify the tenses of the verb. Match the given subjects, verb forms, and time expressions to create your sentences. Remember, you can only use the given words once. That was amazing, grade 6 learners. Have you learned something today, kids?
Yes!
Wow! It is good to know that you have learned the 3 tenses of the verb. The present tense, the past tense, and the future tense of the verb. Remember that our Almighty God is always with us, and nothing can stop us from learning. Once again, this is Sir ALJEN Cainoy saying, be healthy, keep safe, and God bless. Have a nice day.